Hi guys, this is Harish Kumar Reddy. Welcome to DevOps Well. Today we are trying to discuss about the Linux administration. So that in previous class I discussed about system-defined commands and packages. Now I'm trying to continue the session, guys, regarding about the commands. So we'll try to discuss about what are the remaining commands. Today I can complete disclose on Linux administration part. Okay, so basically, as so far we discussed about system-defined commands and packages. Now we are trying to discuss about in one more packages, that is file permissions. File permissions. Okay, very important topic, guys. So what is file permissions actually? File permissions is whenever you enter in any organization, definitely we can collect the raw data of information, right? So for this, we need to know about the file permissions, because whenever the developer is giving to other person, definitely he want to give the permissions for the particular part of to execute the modifications. Okay, so for this, we are trying to go with the file permissions. Okay. So now in this case of scenario, what I want to tell you here is file permissions are very important for the part of Linux administration as well as any deployment. I can go with other scenarios also. Okay. But basically, manually, we are trying to represent the file permissions under the user defined commands only. Okay. So now in file permissions, basically we are collecting the we are collecting the raw information. Okay, so we are collecting the raw information from any other sources sources. Okay, so now in this case of scenario, what is file permission actually? So file permissions having read, next write, next execute. Okay, so file permissions having read, write, and execute. So now here I can try to go with symbolic way. That is, I can go with R, I can go with I can go with execute X. Okay, this is symbolic way. Now, how can you define the file permissions actually? Okay, so basically, if you want to represent the file permissions, for this you have to go with some use case example, guys. So I'm trying to go with use case examples. I'm trying to go with this. Let's go with official website of AWS Cloud. For this, I'm trying to go with EC2 only. EC2. So first I want to launch the instance. First, okay, I have already instance. Okay. I just want to start this instance only because yesterday we already discussed the instance actually. Okay. So this is the state of action, guys. So now let's launch the connection server. We are trying to go with terminal. Okay, this is my terminal. So for this, I'm trying to go with CD downloads. I'm connecting the server. I'm connecting the server. Click on yes. Yeah, successfully created. Let's clear the screen. Okay, so now If I go with ls, is there any files? Yes, I have files. I have a files. Now ls hyphen l. So what is this actually? So basically why we need to talk about the file permissions here. So if you want to go with the file permissions, definitely we need to create, this is the file permissions, guys. These are the file permissions. Remember this. These are the file permissions. Suppose, so whatever you're trying to see, this one is file permissions. Okay, so what is this actually? So read, write, we don't have an execute permission. Read, write, we don't have an execute permission. Read, we have only read, we don't have any write permission, we don't have an execute permission. So now, how can, suppose if the developer is giving only such a things, how can we change the file permissions? So for this, we have to know about what is this actually. So I can split this according to that. I can split it. Okay. So now here, the first whatever you're trying. So this is a directory, guys. Remember this. This is the directory. So D stands for directory. So the first three, whatever you're trying to represent, that is called owner. The second three, whatever you're trying to see, that is a group. That is a group. And third three, I can discuss about others. Others. Okay. So owner, group, others. So these are the things which we need to maintain that. Okay. What is owner? What is group? What is others actually? Okay. So owner will comes a picture of whatever we are trying to see the say stat, like we are trying to go with dynamic permissions under the things of scenario. That is, we are trying to go with owner, group, and others. Okay. Now we are trying to go with file permissions in two ways, guys. In two ways. Two ways. The first one is numerical notation. Numerical notation. Numerical notation. And second one is alphabetical notation. And second one is alphabetical notation. Alphabetical notation. Numerical notations and alphabetical notations. Okay. So basically, what is meant by numerical notations? What is meant by alphabetical notations here is numerical notations will comes under the picture of real numbers. Real numbers. Real numbers are binary numbers. Binary numbers. Coming to alphabetical notations, we are working with group of strings or characters. Characters. Okay. So this is called alphabetical notation. Now, first we are trying to go with numerical notation. Numerical notation. In numerical notation, whatever I said, that is we are working with real numbers or binary numbers. So first, I want to define a static rule according to this read. So we are working with read. We are working with write. We are working with execute. So basically, we have some standard values about the numerical notation. Read stands for 4, write stands for 2, and execute stands for 1. 1. Okay, so this is standard values. Read stands for 4, write stands for 2, execute stands for 1. Total, we need to get 7 if you want to get all permissions. If you want to get all the permissions. For this, we have to go with mathematical calculation. So for this, what I can do here is, first I can go with the 0 stands for, we are working with the 0 stands for no permissions. We are working with no permissions. No permissions. And 1 stands for execute. Okay, 1 stands for execute. 2 stands for write, and 3 stands for what is 3 here? Write plus execute. Okay, what is 4? 4 stands for read, and 5 stands for read plus read plus, and execute. Okay, so next 6 stands for, we are working with 6 stands for 5. So read plus write. Okay, 7 stands for read plus write plus execute. We are working with read plus write plus execute. Okay, so basically, we are working with 0 stands for no permissions, 1 stands for execute, 2 stands for write, 3 stands for write plus execute, 4 stands for read, 5 plus read plus execute, 6 stands for read plus write, and 7 stands for read plus write plus execute. Okay, so this is how we can work on the numerical notations. Okay, so then how can you execute this numerical notation is by we have a command that is change mode. Change mode. So whatever I'm trying to take, suppose if I want to take a source file that is F1, whatever we are trying to go, suppose I want to go with execute permission here, execute permissions here. So I want to add the execute permission, I want to add the execute permission, I want to add the read and write. So for this, I'm trying to go with owner, group, others, okay, of source file. Of source file. Okay, source file. What is this actually? So we are trying to go with change mode 777 of F1. Okay, so we are trying to go with now. So I can go with the practical session now. Let's go with this. Let's go with terminal. So see, okay, it's the connection is timeout, but no issues. We are trying to go with terminal now. We are trying to exit. Okay. Let's clear the screen. So now, if I go with ls, I have only F1, ls hyphen L. Okay. So I want to change F1 permissions. Without disturbing the previous permissions, I want to change F1 permissions. For this, I'm going with change mode. What I said 777, I can go with F1, that is source file. Okay. If I go with ls-l, see here, file permissions has been changed successfully. File permissions has been changed successfully. Okay. So this is what we are trying to go with file permissions, guys. Okay. So now I can go with one more example, change mode. I can go with the 701. What is meant by 701? 7 is all permissions in owner. Oh, 0 means we don't have any permissions in group, and 1 stands for we have only execute permission in others. Okay, of F1. F1. If I go with ls-l, see here, owner having all permissions, and 0 stands for no permissions in group, and 1 stands for only execute permission. Okay, so this is what we are trying to go with the numerical notations. I hope everyone is clear. I hope I can go with one more example again. Change mode. I can go with 051 051 F1. Okay, so now if I go with ls-l, see here 0 stands for no permission, no permissions for a group, and 5 stands for only read and execute, and 1 stands for only execute permission in F1. Okay, this is how we can try to go with the things. Okay, so these are the numerical notations. Numerical notations means numerical notations will works under the without disturbing the previous permissions. We are trying to go with modification level according to the developer norms. Okay, so this is all about the file permissions, guys. Next, we are trying to go with the next topic is we are working on alphabetical notations. Alphabetical notations. Alphabetical notations. In alphabetical notations, whatever I told you that we are working with group of characters, group of strings, or characters. Group of characters. So for this, we have again owner, group, and others. Okay, owner, group, and others. Okay, so here you have to know only one thing. Owner stands for group stands for G, and other stands for O. Oh, okay. And here we are trying to go with operations. Operations, that is, plus stands for adding the permission. adding the permission. We are trying to go with alpha, adding the permissions, and minus stands for removing the permissions. Removing the permissions. Removing the permissions. So, okay, adding the permissions, removing the permissions. Okay, so now how can you write this alphabetical notation? It's very simple. We are trying to go with change mod. Change mod. Suppose I want to work with the only single permission. I don't want to work with the multiple permissions. Okay, so for this you can go with, suppose I can try to go with a small example to understand this concept. Okay, so now let's go with terminal. Okay, suppose I'm trying to go with cat, I can go with F2. F2, hi, hello. Okay, Control C to come out. Okay, now if I go with ls, I have F2 currently. Okay, now if I go with ls-l, see here, I have in F2, I have read, write. I don't have execute permission. Read, write. I don't have execute permission. Only read is there. Okay, so suppose I want to add only one permission. I don't want to disturb these permissions. For this, I can go with alphabetical notation only. Okay, so I can use change mod. Change mod. So I can go with u. Okay, u plus x of f2. F2. Okay, if I go with ls-l, see here, permission is added. So previously we don't have any permission. Now the permission is added successfully. Okay, so this is what we are trying to modify. We are trying, if you want to only target only group, you can try to go. Okay, like I can go with one more example, change mod. Change mod. Suppose I want to go with others. Okay, so I can go with read plus write. So we are trying to go with others, right? So for this O plus write plus execute of F2. Okay, if I go with ls-l, see here, permission is added. Permission added for the others. Okay, so this is how we are trying to go with the permissions. This is only for single characters, but now how to go with the multiple characters? This is very important. Suppose I just want to go with, suppose I want to remove execute permission, write permission in group. I want to remove the write permission in owner. I want to remove the file, entire file in others. Okay, so for this, I'm trying to go with u. We are trying to go with u minus w, comma, u minus w, comma. We are trying to go with change mod u minus w, comma, u minus w, and I'm trying to go with the group g minus w, comma, o minus w minus x of f2. Okay, we'll see this. If I go with ls-l, see here, it was removed successfully. If I want to go with multiple file permissions, I want to use comma for this. Okay, change mod. Suppose I want to go with u plus w, comma, g plus w, comma, o plus x of f2. If I go with ls-l, see here, it is added successfully. So previously we are removed, now it is added. Okay, so this is all about the alphabetical notations. Okay, so this is a complete detailed information about user defined commands, system defined commands, and packages. Okay, so now let's move with the bash scripting. Let's move with the bash scripting, guys. So basically, what is bash scripting actually? We are using the bash scripting here. So bash scripting is something like we are working on programming languages. Okay, we are working with the programming languages. Okay, scripting is nothing but programming. Okay, so we are using with the client terminal, we are working on the progress. Okay, we are working on the progress. For this, we are using bash scripting actually. Okay, so bash scripting is a command line interface where we can use Linux utility under the Linux operating system. Okay, we are working with Linux operating system. It can be written as Brain Jan Fox. Okay, it was developed actually, and he was trying to go with most probably Linux distributions. Okay, and coming to the part of scripting. So we are, if you want to go with scripting part, it will automatically give the task of the human need to perform individually. So in previous languages, whatever you explained, that is Java, Python, or Salesforce, that is user-defined code only. Okay, so that is completely like we are trying to go with user-defined codes and we are working on the progress. But coming to Bash is also one of the programming language what we are trying to write the scripting codes under the user-defined language. Okay, so Bash scripting is created to automate the different types of tasks. We are trying to go with different types of tasks and how we can try to motivate the systems. And Bash scripting is completely like we are trying to support you the variable versions and the conditional statements, and we are trying to go with loops, and everything comes a picture here. Okay, so whatever you learned the previous like Java, Salesforce, Python, C language, that will be same as a Bash scripting also, but the IO considerations are completely different. Okay, so we are using Bash scripts for this. So coming to applications of Bash script, we are trying to go with manipulations of the files, and we are trying to execute the round of scenarios, and we are trying to go with automation techniques, and we are working on we are working on different types of programming languages based upon the reference of this Bash scripting. Okay, so with the previous of references only we are working on the Bash scripting part, but it is completely like security. Okay, and coming to advantages, what we are trying to go here is it is very simple and to avoid the representative task, and it is easy to use. Okay, it is easy to use, and we are trying to go with frequently perform with automation task, and we are trying to run on the single code. Okay, so this is what we are trying to do. And coming to, we are working on so how we can work on the disadvantage here is basically it is very costly, guys. Okay, so disadvantage is also there for this. It is very costly to write the code, and it is it's a newly launched like shell scripting executed, slow execution speed. Okay, and even compatible problems will be arise in this Bash scripting also. Okay, then how to write the Bash scripting? Okay, so I can try to go with example to understand this concept. Next class I can go with more scenarios about the Bash scripting. Okay, so here we are trying to go with examples here. Let's go with I'm trying to go with terminal. So I'm trying to go with this file. Let's clear the screen. Okay, so here what I can do here is, suppose if I want to write a programming, suppose if I want to write the programming, for this I can go with VI. VI stands for visual interface. Suppose I'm writing the code like hello.sh. We are trying to go with extension of sh. So go to interface mode. This is editor. So I'm writing the code echo. I'm trying to go with hello world. Hello world. Okay, I'm writing the execution code hello world. So now echo, welcome to DevOps world. You're trying to go with the welcome to DevOps world. So now escape :WQ enter. Okay. So now how to execute this code? How to execute this code? This is very, very important for us. Most probably a lot of the members will confuse how to execute the code for this Bash scripting. So for this, I'm trying to go with, I can go with bash. I am going with hello world .sh. Okay, so this is how we can execute the code. Okay, so I can go with one more example to understand this concept. I can go with VI. I can go some abc.sh. abc.sh. That sh stands for shell. So I can go with again echo. Hi, welcome to all. Welcome to all. Okay, welcome to all. Echo means printf. So we are trying to go with just like a printf. Hi, hello. Okay, so go to escape :WQ enter. Okay, so I'm going with the bash abc.sh. abc.sh. See here, hi, welcome to all. Hi, hello. Okay. So this is how we can execute the course. Okay. In next class, I can finish this bash scripting, guys. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any doubts, please try to talk in comment section, guys. Okay. So this is all about today's class. And if you feel free, you can ask me doubts in comment section, guys. Thank you so much and have a nice day.